Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for today's MLB slate on Tuesday, June the 3rd. We got a full Tuesday slate today, 15 games, going to be plenty of props to choose from. Now, I am recording this video the night before, and typically for MLB the night before, we don't have like the full board posted. There's still props, that haven't been added yet, but I was still able to find 3 early plays that I did like for today. And as always, guys, we're going to break down these plays. We're going to talk about why I like these plays. Now, before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. If you enjoy these Prizepicks videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, and if you are new to Prizepicks, and if you don't have a Prizepicks account, be sure to go sign up and use that promo code NOAH when you guys do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first $5 lineup. You're going to get $50 instantly added to your account. Make sure to check out Prizepicks if you have not yet. And then I do also want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. You guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. You get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you put in, Sleeper will match that up to $100. And if you guys don't know what Sleeper is, they're a DFS pick'em app. They're very similar to Prizepicks. You just pick more or less on player projections. You build out a lineup. You can do up to an 8-pick lineup on Sleeper. You can win up to 100 extra money, and you can mix and match sports as well, do multi-sport entries. Another thing that I like about Sleeper, they do a lot of promotions, a lot of discounts throughout the week, always giving discounted projections, always giving protected plays, payout boosts, multiplier boosts, a bunch of different promos Sleeper does throughout the week, almost every single day. If you guys don't have an account over there, again, use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Sleeper. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and talk about some plays that I like here for Tuesday. Now, I would recap our plays from Monday's video, but at the time I'm recording this video around 11 p.m. Eastern time on Monday night, the games that we took props in haven't finished yet. We took an over on Logan Webb's fantasy score, which is looking pretty good. I think Logan Webb, he's through 5 innings, no runs allowed, 6 strikeouts, so that's looking pretty good. Hopefully he doesn't collapse, have a complete meltdown. And then we took an over on Max Muncy fantasy score, 4.5. Muncy's only had 1 at-bat so far. He got walked in his 1 at-bat, so we'll see if he can go over his fantasy score. But can't really recap the plays right now since the games are going on as I'm recording this video. But hopefully both plays hit Monday. We can make some money and hopefully get back at it here and make some money on this Tuesday slate. I do have 3 plays for today, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about these plays. So all the props that I do like for today are going to be strikeout props. The first one that we're going to talk about is going to be Lance McCullers, and we're going to take Lance McCullers for more than 5.5 strikeouts. So Lance McCullers has not made a lot of starts this season. We've only seen him make 5 starts. He was injured. I can't remember what he was. I think it was like Tommy John he was injured with. I'm not exactly sure, but he's come back from injury. He's made 5 starts since coming back from injury. And in those 5 starts, as you can see, he's gone over this line in 3 out of 5. In his first start, he had 4 Ks against the White Sox, only pitched 3.2 innings in that start through 87 pitches. And then in the start after that against the Reds, he got absolutely destroyed, gave up 3 hits, 7 runs, had 3 walks in the first inning, didn't even make it out of the first inning in that game against the Reds. And then against Texas, 4 innings, had 2 Ks, was pitching a shutout in that game, but threw 83 pitches. And then in the last 2 starts, we've really seen Lance McCullers look like his old self. Had only went 4.1 innings, only went 4 1/3 against Seattle, but had 8 Ks. And then in his last start against the Athletics, 6 innings, 12 Ks, which I believe was a career high for him, or I think it was tied. He tied his career high in strikeouts in his last game against the Athletics. So McCullers has been pitching well lately. He's been racking up Ks. He's a pitcher that has historically been a pretty good strikeout pitcher, in his career. The last time we saw Lance McCullers was in 2022. He's a guy that's dealt with injuries a lot throughout his career. But in 2022, he had a 25.5% K rate. The season before that, a 27% K rate. The season before that, around a 25% K rate. He's historically been a guy that's had about a 25 to 26% strikeout rate, which is well above league average. So far this season, his strikeout rate is at 28.6%, which is very good. It's his highest. His K rate's as high as it's been since 2016. Obviously, his K rate is really inflated because of his last 2 starts. But I think this is a matchup where we can expect these strikeouts to continue to be there for Lance McCullers, because he's going to face a Pirates team that has struck out a lot this season against right-handed pitching. If we do look, the Pirates, they have the 11th highest K rate versus right-handed pitching this season. And over the last month, Pittsburgh ranks inside the top 10 in strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching. So this is a Pirates team that will strike out. McCullers, a pitcher that does have good strikeout stuff. We've seen the strikeouts really come back as of late. And another thing that I like to see is that McCullers was able to throw over 100 pitches in his last start. Sometimes when guys come back from injury, they're not fully stretched out. They're not able to throw their normal amount of pitches. But we saw McCullers go 6 innings last start, threw over 100 pitches. That makes me confident that we can expect him to pitch probably at least 5, if maybe not 6 innings again here. And if he goes 5 or 6 innings, I feel fairly good about him getting 6 Ks in a really good matchup like this, one that there should be strikeouts available. So I like that as our first prop for today. Next prop I like is another strikeout prop. We're going to take Sandy Alcantara for more than 5.5 strikeouts. So Alcantara, if you look at what he's done lately, it's not as good. You can see he's had some good starts. He's had some bad starts. Only had 4 Ks against the Dodgers, but that was a really tough matchup. Then he did have 8 Ks against the White Sox in a pretty good matchup. Only 3 Ks against Tampa Bay. Then he had 6 Ks against the Angels. And then in his last start against the Padres, one of the toughest matchups for strikeouts, he had 0 Ks. Alcantara's strikeout stuff this season is way down. He has a career low in strikeout rate this season, 16.9%. But I don't think that's something that we're going to continue to see. I don't think Alcantara is a guy that's going to have a 17% strikeout rate the entire season. I think his strikeout rate is going to start to rise a little bit. I think it's going to be around that 20% mark. I think he has run a little bit bad when it comes to matchups. He has had a brutal schedule. If you look at Alcantara's schedule this season, he's had to face a lot of teams that don't strike out a lot. So in his first start of the season, he faced the Pirates, and he did have 7 Ks against the Pirates. But then he had to face the Mets, a team that doesn't strike out. He had to face the Nationals, a team that doesn't strike out. He had to face the Phillies, another low K team. He had to face the Reds. The Reds are a team that will K some. I think they are top 5 in K rate this season. So he did get a good matchup against the Reds, had 4 Ks. But then only had to face the Dodgers back-to-back. And then his last few starts, we've seen him face the White Sox, which that was a good matchup, and he had 8 Ks. But then he had to face Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I think, has been an okay matchup. They've kind of been, they've been a decent matchup for Ks. But then he got 6 Ks against the Angels, which was a good matchup. And then he had 0 against the Padres, which was a terrible matchup. So a lot of his starts this season where he has gone under this line have been some really tough matchups. I mean, Mets, Nationals, Phillies, Dodgers twice, and then Rays, and then Padres. Most of those matchups are pretty tough ones for strikeouts. This matchup against the Rockies is probably the best possible matchup you can get for strikeouts. If we look at this season versus right-handed pitching, the Rockies have the 2nd highest strikeout rate in the league. And then if you look at their splits on the road, the Rockies are even worse on the road, and it makes sense because the Rockies play their home games in Coors Field. Coors Field, if you don't know, is the most hitter-friendly ballpark. So it makes sense to see the Rockies do worse away from Coors because Coors is just such a good ballpark to hit in. And away from Coors this season, the Rockies have a 28% strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching. So they're striking out even more on the road. The matchup here is about as good as it gets for Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara, throughout his career as well, he's been a pitcher that has historically pitched better at home. The Marlins ballpark is a ballpark that has historically played pitcher friendly. This season, Alcantara's ERA is it's significantly lower at home than it is on the road. Now his ERA at home is still pretty high, but his ERA on the road is insane. It's he's got almost a 13 ERA on the road. He's been terrible on the road, but at home his ERA 5.74, which is 5.74 ERA is still not good, but that's significantly lower than what it is on the road. But if you look at his last season, he had a 3.8 ERA on the road, which was lower, or ERA at home, which was lower than his ERA on the road. I think the season before that, he also had a lower ERA at home than on the road. And I want to say his strikeout rate at home has been pretty solid as well. It looks like they just took that Alcantara prop off the board, so that's kind of annoying. I'm assuming they'll add that back, but we'll have to see. Right now, they only have Demons and Goblins up. That's another thing that I hate about doing content for Prizepicks the night before. All they have up is Demons and Goblins. It's very hard to find any regular lines the night before. But 5.5 Ks for Alcantara I did like. It just got taken off the board. If they add it back, obviously we'll play it. We'll see how it what happens there. I assume they'll add it back at some point, but Yeah, we'll just, I guess we'll just leave that one off for now. So let's talk about the third play. Technically, second play since one of them just got taken off the board. But the other play that I like is Spencer Strider. And we're going to take Spencer Strider for more than 5.5 strikeouts. Or excuse me, 6.5 strikeouts. So we haven't seen a lot of Spencer Strider this season. He's only made 4 starts. 2 of those starts came at the beginning of the season, and then he got injured. He was out for over a month, and now he's come back and he's made 2 starts since coming back from injury. But Strider is a pitcher that has historically been one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. If we look at his rookie year, he had a 38% strikeout rate, which was one of the best among all pitchers in the league. The season after that, 36.8%. The season after that, 28.5%, which was a small sample. He did not pitch much last season, also due to injury. And in this season so far, his strikeout rate, it is down. It's down to 25%. But I don't know if Strider's a guy that we should expect to have a 25% strikeout rate. Okay, they did just add the Alcantara prop back up, so we'll go ahead and put that back in there. But as I was saying with Strider, I don't think Strider's a guy that's going to be a 25% K rate guy. I think he's going to be like a 30% K rate guy like he has been throughout his career. I mean, it's only a 4-game sample, so you don't want to really weight a 4-game sample too heavily when guys come back from injury as well. Typically maybe they're not as sharp, a little bit rusty. Strider though has made, I think, 3 starts since he's come back from injury. Yeah, 3 starts, He's made 3 starts since coming back from injury. He's faced Toronto, Washington, and Philadelphia. And those are not like the easiest matchups for strikeouts. I mean, Toronto this season, if you look at their strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching, I'm pretty sure it's one of the lowest in the league. Yeah, Toronto has the lowest strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching. And if we look at Washington, they have the 6th lowest strikeout rate, and then Philadelphia has been, let's see, where's Philadelphia at? I mean, they're 4th lowest. Like, Strider has literally had some of the toughest matchups possible for strikeouts to start the season. Now, you look at this matchup against Arizona, you think this is another tough matchup for strikeouts because Arizona does rank 21st in strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching this season, so they are bottom 10. However, Arizona has struck out significantly more on the road than they have at home, and I think that makes sense because Arizona, another team kind of similar to Colorado, they're another team that plays in a pretty hitter-friendly ballpark. The Chase Field is historically played pretty hitter-friendly, especially like later in the summer when it gets really hot. Sometimes they'll have the roof open in Chase Field, and that's a ballpark that does play hitter-friendly. If you actually look at this season versus right-handed pitching on the road, Arizona has the 5th highest strikeout rate, 24.6%. So Arizona striking out significantly more on the road than they have at home. And in a matchup like this, even though it looks like a tough matchup on paper, with how much Arizona is striking out on the road, plus factoring in, we got one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league in Spencer Strider, I like this spot a lot for Strider. I think 6.5. Usually we never see him with like a 6.5 K prop. His K prop is usually 7.5. Sometimes I've seen it at 8.5. I mean, I think he's even had some starts where he's had like a 9.5 K prop. Like when Spencer Strider is healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in the league. He's one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. He's only made 3 starts this season. He's made 2 starts since coming back from injury. Hasn't looked as sharp as we normally would see him be, but he did have 7 Ks in his last start against this Philadelphia. Was able to throw 90 pitches as well in that start. Strider, his last 2 starts, he hasn't been able to get through 5 innings. But you look at his pitching outs line. Sportsbooks have his pitching outs line set at 17.5. So the sportsbooks are assuming Strider has a chance to go 6 innings today, something he hasn't been able to do all season. If he can go 6 innings, I mean, I feel pretty confident about him getting 7 Ks, especially against a Arizona team that is striking out a lot more on the road this season than they have been, just normally. So I do like Spencer Strider here for more than 6.5 Ks. Also, if you look at his splits or his like stats versus Arizona, that was something that I did look at. He has had at least 7 Ks in 3 out of 4 career starts against Arizona for what it's worth. Doesn't mean much, but did want to mention that. Also, do want to mention this will be Spencer Strider's home debut. Strider has made 3 starts this season, and all 3 of those starts have been on the road. So I think there's even added like juice here for Spencer Strider, making his first start of the season at home. I think the crowd's really going to be cheering him on. I'm not a big narrative guy, but I think if there was ever a spot where Strider would be able to pitch well, maybe have some extra velocity on his pitches, maybe throw a little bit harder, it's with the home crowd amping him up, making his first start of the season at home. So that's what we're going to roll with, guys, as our 3 props here for Tuesday in the MLB streets. And I do want to say that Prizepicks did make a big change yesterday. 3-pick lineups on Prizepicks now pay out 6x. Normally they would pay out 5x if you did a 3-pick power play, but now 3-pick power plays pay out 6x. So 3-pick power plays are now going to be much better to play on Prizepicks moving forward. So you might see me posting more 3-picks moving forward because Prizepicks making that change to 6x for the power play on 3-picks is really good. So yeah, did want to mention that as well. Another kind of rare Prizepicks W. Prizepicks hasn't been getting a lot of W's lately, I'll be honest. I've not been happy with some of the things Prizepicks is doing, like with the demons and the goblins. Like, I'm not a big fan of that stuff, but I do like this change that Prizepicks made with the payout boost to 6x on the 3-pick powers. But yeah, guys, that's what I got here for Tuesday. Let's see if we can go 3-0 and hit all 3 of these plays for this Tuesday slate. But again, appreciate you guys watching these videos. Appreciate your support on this Prizepicks content. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, and if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, be sure to go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. Again, you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup on Prizepicks. So check them out and use that code NOAH when you do sign up. But good luck, guys. Let's win some money tonight, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.